another one.
Welcome in, everybody. 60 people here on a Monday night.
That's pretty good.
That's exciting.
You're excited about the training.
Yeah, me honestly. I don't know how many of you guys have been here for our other trainings, but this is my favorite topic of them all. So I'm like naturally actually more excited because I like getting clients. So anyway, I got Aaron and Kenny with me.
What's up, guys?
I'll give you guys some quick background on them. So Aaron, if you saw the resemblance, is indeed my brother. We've worked together for almost 10 years now on this business. And so he's built it with me since virtually the beginning. Mr. Kenny has been, I was about to say this in the wrong format. I was going to say you've been blessed to work with me, but I definitely meant I've been blessed to work with you for the last 4 years. Kenny's been alongside as we build all of our different businesses. And so great people to learn from. Talking about a topic that is very important. I go back to the quote, without clients, you don't have a company. And so today we're going to be talking about how to get customers for your business. This is kind of an entry-level training. So if you're already in REPP in our community, you have access to most of this information, but a good reminder is never, not worth it. And so excited to share that with you. As you noticed, we decided to do a whole different strategy for Black Friday this year. So Black Friday is free. This is what it is. We're giving you free training in the hopes that those of you who are serious will be more interested in working with us. So we want to give you value on the front end, show you some of the things we teach, and then we'd love to work with you in coaching when it makes sense. So if you're serious about this business, if your goal this year is to make something happen with it, I'm not saying make an extra $2,000 a month. I'm saying grow your business to the point where you're doing minimum 5K a month, but I think that's a small goal. That's who we want to work with in coaching. So if your goal is to make $1,000 on the side, awesome. Use all the free information I put out. Do that, but we work with people who are serious. And so you can see that link below if you want to apply for that. It's replaunch.com/apply. You get to talk with Carl, Rod, or Philippe on our team. They're all great. And their goal is to help you figure out what you want in this business and share how coaching works with you. So with that being said, let's jump into the training. How many of you, just to start, I always like to kind of survey the audience. Where are you at in your business? Are you thinking about starting, just starting, do more than 5K a month? Like, give me the baseline. I see a soft familiar name in here, some others. Matthew, I think you've been here for a couple of days. Oh, Chris, you're already in coaching, but hello again. Also, Aaron, his last name is not Kaiser like we've been saying, it's Kaiser.
No, I've been saying Kaiser the entire time.
Oh, that was just me.
I don't know what you guys got in your head, but I took one look and I knew what it was.
that was not me. So Mitchell said more than 5K, 10K a month, just starting. Cool. The good thing about client training is it literally is, it works for all sizes of business. Some of this will be basic. I'm going to start from the beginning, things that make this business awesome, and then scale up from there into some different strategy and stuff like that. So just about to start. Atlas said, Richard said 2 to 5K a month. Very nice. Thinking about starting. So we got a whole group of people in here. Matthew said beginner, but I have a meeting tomorrow. 5 regular clients. Okay, this is perfect for if you're under 5K a month, I'd say. And if you're already in coaching, it'll be a good reminder, but we're already working with you on this. David said 1K a month right now, 8 and 2K a month. Cool. Just starting. Awesome. Well, the first, before I talk about strategy, getting you to understand why we use the strategy we do is important, because if I just tell you the strategy, you're not going to get results from it. You have to understand why. So the first thing that I want you to kind of reframe in your mind, and I know that sounds kind of fluffy, we're like starting with the mindset stuff, but I'm starting with that for a reason. I'm a guy that believes in the tactical stuff. I want you to do the stuff that makes your business get to the next level. In order to do that, you actually need to do it. And that's where the mindset comes in, right? And so the first thing I want to start with is when you're first starting your business, you are going to feel, or if you're under 5K a month, right, you feel like what your business is missing is money. You need more money, right? And that's true. The problem is oftentimes the slowest way to get the money is by thinking, I need to go get the money now, because it makes you think in the wrong way. And so I want to reframe that by telling you the fastest way to get money is to think about how you can get opportunity, because opportunity is what gets you money. You know, obviously, if every agent in your city knew you, liked you, and trusted you, it's a phrase you've probably heard a lot. I forget the initial author of that, but you'd have all the business in the world. And so it starts with getting them to know you, right? That didn't say pay you, to know you, right? Then they have to like you, they have to trust you, and then you start making money from them. And so I want you to think about it in that way. What happens is people get so hung up in like, how, like, I have to make this work. That doesn't make sense. I'm getting taken advantage of an artist. And they have all these preconceptions about what it means to build clients as a photo business owner. And I would encourage you, number one, remember what you need at the start. The fastest way to money is by starting to look for opportunity, not money. And so sometimes what that means is you're going to do the first shoot free, but we'll talk about that in a second. I know a lot of artists are just initially like, I'll never do that, right? And I hope that there's not a lot of artists here, because it's hard when someone's an artist to reframe them. But you can learn from that and know that the things that make you successful in a photo business has nothing to do with the art side of it. In fact, it's linearly worse. The more of an artist you are, the worse your business results are going to be. And we've talked about that. It's kind of a theme in these trainings so far, but I just wanted to reframe that perspective here. So I'm going to talk about, I hinted that we recommend free. How many of you guys have watched the Instagram method training or know generally how we recommend getting clients? Just put that in the chat. And if you do know that, you know that we offer a first shoot free. And no, I'm not crazy. I'm not doing that because I want you to lose money. I'm doing that because it's the fastest way to money. I'm going to explain why in a second, like what makes that work in this industry. But the first thing you have to know is that is so important. The people that we've gotten to work with, the reason in coaching we get people to grow their business so quickly is because we have them use this strategy, right? We show them why, we show them all the details, and we hold their hand through it. So nope, Matthew has. Cool. How many of you heard my strategy? You have to call yourself out on this. Maybe you're not going to post it in here, but how many of you have heard my strategy and then turned around and not done free? They've done half off, small discount, no discount, and then it hasn't worked. I just want to see if anybody is brave enough to own up to that. So the reason why I asked that is because that's the most common wrong direction we see people take the Instagram method. They're like, awesome. Yeah, I believe in that, Eli. I'm going to reach out, right? But I'm not going to do the free thing because I want to make money. And it's like, dog, I want to make money too. I'm not recommending that because I want you to not make money. I'm recommending that because it's the fastest way to money. The reason for that, and I want to talk a little bit about the industry broadly, and then we'll dive into that specifically. There are 3 things. I made a video on it on YouTube called the 3 R's. It's what ultimately makes this industry so good. So it's 3 R words, right? Number 1 is repeat business. So the clients who use you are going to use you multiple times. If it was a one-time client thing, I would never recommend free because that's a recipe to not make any money, right? So the first R is repeat business. We have that. Number 2 is referral business, meaning most of your clients in the future are going to come from referrals. Let me go back here. Let's see. And so whatever you can do, ultimately, if you think about whatever you can do to get more people referring you, that's going to grow your business really quickly. And so if it takes doing a free to get referral, that's awesome, right? So that's the second one, repeat business, referral business. Number 3, and this is really important, especially when economic times change, we have required business, meaning agents need to use a professional photographer, or at least the vast majority will, because it's part of the marketing process, to make money themselves. So you stand between them and making money in a good way, not a bad way, right? You're not preventing them from it, but they need to hire you for them to make money. And so that's a good combination, right? If you haven't seen that video on my YouTube, I highly encourage you to watch. I go more in depth, but repeat, referral, and required. If we didn't have at least 2 of those things, I would never recommend a free first shoot because it would be a hard way to build your business. We have all of them. And because we have all of them, this is a really important point too. Our customer lifetime value, you maybe have heard the term LTV in marketing. It's the total amount of money that a customer will pay you while they use you, is really high, right? Because they're not going to just use you once. They're going to use you every time they get a listing. And because of that, they're going to keep paying you. And that LTV, the total amount you make from a customer, goes way up over time. And so if you think about this, I should probably share my screen for this. I don't know if I can do that. Anyway, I want you to think about a sort of a, you ever played like Guitar Hero, the game, right? When those like little beads are coming at you and you got to press the button. This is my like on the fly reference, right? You guys stay with me. Stay with me.
We're with you. We're with you.
If you think about those coming towards you, that's how the shoots look, right? Is they're going to be constantly coming towards you. And would you, in exchange, that was a very weird reference to use, but it illustrates the point, which is good. Would you, in exchange for that first one, would you want to start that chain of shoots coming at you? Yes. And that's what it is, right? So you're doing a free first shoot to get the chance to have all their future shoots. And that's so important. And so because they keep coming, it makes sense. And so the cool thing is, I share this in the workshop link to my bio. If you haven't watched that, I definitely recommend watching that. But it's kind of this concept of, in other types of photography, let's say wedding photography, right? What's going to happen is the first shoot you do, right? And then that client's income for you is nothing the next month. So, right, it's nothing the month before you shoot. You make $0 from that client. The month you shoot their wedding, maybe you make $4,000, right? The next month you make 0. In real estate photography, it's like stair stepping. That's what I talk about in the workshop. So like you get 3 clients, you're making whatever a month, 2,000, 1,500, right? You get 6 clients, your income goes up. And obviously some clients are worth more and some are worth less. We talked about that in a different Black Friday is free training. But the idea is that your income keeps growing the more clients you add to your roster. And so then you can go, okay, because my income grows dependent on the amount of clients I have, what do I need to do to get a client? And you become willing to give that first shoot out free. And so that's why we recommend free. Before we go into, there's really 4 ways you can get clients in this business. It's no secret that I recommend what we call the Instagram method. That's one of the 4, and I'm going to talk about those. But before then, I want you guys to throw all the objections at me that you can think of for why you wouldn't do free. And we're going to spend some time on this one because I really like and I just really encourage you, if you're serious about this business and you want to do this, I promise you that free is a good way, at least partially, for you to start your business. They call it a free to fee model, right? And a lot of artists hate it, but a lot of artists are broke. So we don't want you to be one of those. So I really do want to stay here for a second and talk about this. If you genuinely want to start this business and you are against free, I want you to have a real conversation with me. Tell me the truth of why you're against it. And we just want to get in. It's no surface level stuff. Hit me with if you think you found the thing that just disproves what I'm saying, like say it here. I want to talk about it with you. I'm going to wait. Freedom Vice said they got it. That's good. Is anybody against free? What makes you worried about offering free? What's the worst case scenario that plays out in your mind? I know it may take a second to type, but it'll come in there. Okay, there's one.
And I think one point I'll add on that, if you're sitting in the audience thinking to yourself, well, I've heard this for a long time, I believe that it's a good idea. If you're in the camp where you believe all that's a good idea and you still haven't done any of it yet, you just agree with it, it still means there's something about it you don't like that's causing you to not start doing it.
Yeah. So we got a good one. We got a good one. I love this one. Brian, this is with all of the love. I'm not picking on you apart from the fact that you commented never offer free when I'm talking about it. So I want to use that as an option. So you don't have to tell me the specifics. Obviously your name's on here, but there is multiple ways to build a business. You can build a business without offering free. If your goal is to make as much money as possible as soon as you start, I promise it is the fastest way to do it. We work with people in coaching. You know, one of our top students in October did 20K his 3rd month in. So I'm not saying you don't have, maybe you have a great business, right? But the reason we're able to get people results so quickly, you know, our coaching program is for the most part 6 months. And by the end of it, they're making a full-time income. The reason we do that is because speed's important for the people we work with. And free is the fastest way to get there. And so what I would encourage you to think of is, I know you tell people never offer free, but what did your first year look like? What did your first 6 months? You know, my guess, if it was like mine before I knew this, it was slower. Free is just the fastest way. A lot of photographers will say never offer free. We're out here helping people build awesome businesses on the back of free. And so let me see what the other objections are here. Okay, here's a good one. If I'm starting out, they would think that I have nothing worth money to offer. I understand why you're saying that, but they will know what you have to offer when you do the first shoot. right? You're going to do that shoot. You're going to show them what your service is like. You're going to show them how your photos look. That's a small thing, but it's still important. You're going to show them what it means to work with you. And so, yeah, they might think that at the start, but once they work with you, they won't. And it doesn't matter what they think. It matters if they pay you and they keep using you in the future.
Also, just to add, it doesn't matter. Like something that you said, the photos don't really matter. It's just the client service that you're going to give them. If they like you, if you're a likable person, if you're well-spoken, if you treat their homeowners or sellers, I mean, like they're your own clients, they're going to love you. Like they're going to keep using you. Eli, I know you've said this story many times, but it's just like we had a photographer that didn't, would miss bathrooms, rooms, would not shoot the best photos in general, but he was always the most like requested for, just because like he had a great attitude. He was great to talk with. He was funny and all that.
And our good photographer at that time was the least requested because he didn't have, that same type of personality.
I will make one even comment. Hopefully you don't mind me saying this, Chris, but I think you appreciate it too. Chris Kaiser, who's here, he did a shoot and delivered it to an agent, and the agent responded with, it was one of the first shoots that you've done, Chris. And the agent responded with, "These are the best photos I've ever seen in my life." It was essentially what she said. And then, Chris sent the photos over. We took a look at them. There was a few things to point out where I was going, a couple things here and there. And it's just like that idea. It applies to a lot of things. And I think a lot of people have an idea that all the agents, all the companies, and it's this situation where everyone's on a pedestal and being compared. And it's just not the case. It's
not the case. Yeah. So here's a great comparison. So a lot of people that don't do free, they'll do 50% off because you get it, right? You're like, I want to make some money. I'll give them a discount. Here's what I would say. One, we've seen 50% convert way less good than free, obviously, right? And the reason for that is a couple things. But one thing I want to point out. So if you think about it, which of these companies do you think may be better, right? Is it the company who's they believe in their service so much that they know offering it to you for free is the best marketing, or the company that charges 50% off? Now, on the surface, you're like 50% off. At least they value themselves, right? Well, I would argue that the person who's willing to do it for free because they know how attractive it is to clients to just get their offer in their hand, that they'll do it at any cost because they're going to make so much money down the line. To me, that actually ultimately screams more confidence. But that's not really the main point. The main point, too, is free still has a cost. Right? There's still a cost to free for clients. They have to try a new vendor. They have to risk a client relationship with the new vendor. They have to go up and set new systems with that vendor. It breaks the flow. And so even free has a cost. So we don't want to add a financial cost on top of that. We know at my business and the businesses we work with, Chris, as a coaching client we're working with right now, we know that the best marketing for those businesses is the product itself. Right. So we know that if we get that into their hands, not just the product in terms of photos, right? The service they offer, everything that goes along with working with them, we know that that is the best out there. And that is the best marketing that we can possibly do. So we're like, okay, if that's our best marketing, let's give them it. I'd rather not pay Facebook $1,000 in ads when I could just get $1,000 worth of free media in front of somebody. That makes way more sense, right? So it's just a reframe perspective. I do think, and this is directed at nobody specifically, but if you are thinking, I'm never going to do free, I promise you are going to make less money than you could. And so you were saying, I'm not going to let someone take advantage of me. And while you are saying that, you are taking advantage of your future. I just guarantee you that's how it works out. We've just seen it enough. This is what I do every day. I built my business this way. I work with other people. I work with a lot of people who've been trying this for 2 years by offering half off or full price, haven't got anywhere. And then we blow their business up when they get in coaching because we convince them. And so you just have to look at it on a longer term horizon than just 1 month, right? You got to look on a 2 or 3 month horizon, which is not even long. But there's a quote I like, which is being poor sucks more than helping people for free. And that's what I encourage you to think about with the Instagram method. It's from Alex Hormozy. Last thing, and then we'll jump into some more of the common objections. And thank you guys for sharing these. It's my goal to get to the heart of it and show you why our method works so well. So the main thing I said, being poor sucks more than working for people for free. The biggest thing that is going to absolutely change your business is getting your work in people's hands. So I just want you to really to think about that. That will change your life more than anything else if you don't suck. And the biggest companies in the world, they show this, right? Think about free trials. Why do companies give free trials? Because they know when you try it, you're not going to want to leave, right? And so if you say, oh, I'm not going to do that, I value myself. Well, does Netflix or do these companies that not offer a free trial? I don't think Netflix does. It's probably a bad example. But do the companies that offer a free trial not value themselves? Or do they value themselves so much that they're willing to take a loss, show you their product to get it in their hands? I'd argue that, right? Let's see. I'm going to find some more that I want to pull up here. In a situation where you show up and the house isn't ready, this happened to my first free shoot. What would you? This is a great chance to demonstrate your value by spending some time to clean it. That's another thing that broke photographers don't do. Let's see. They'll say it's not my job, and that's fine. It cannot be your job, right? But it's not going to be your paycheck either because the client finds someone who does. Let's see. David, so I would encourage you to think about it this way, and we've kind of already talked about this a little bit. You commented this probably before, but if they ordered that, would they see the value of it, or is the price the only reason the value is there? Because I would argue if it's good, if it's $800 and you're scared to get it in people's hands, there's maybe a disconnect there. I think they'd value it. Maybe they're not going to value that shoot, but they're going to hire you again, right? Yeah, needing to pay the bills. I 100% understand. My whole take is that the fastest way to make money is offer the first one free. Because otherwise you're out there, you're saying, hey, I'd love to do a shoot. Hey, I'd love to do a shoot. And nobody's booking you for a shoot. So you're not getting paid. Meanwhile, the guy that's done free, yeah, he did a free shoot at the start, but he's already gotten a paid shoot since then, right? This is a common one we see a lot. Free sets an expectation of discounts and low value work. We've never seen that actually play out. Like, I think there's a lot of things that people feel free is going to do, but it's just they've come up with this in their head. They've created this idea. I go back to the subscription business. Do you think it's low value because they give you a free trial? No, you try it, right? And then you see the value. So my goal is not for them to have any expectation of value. It's for them to see the actual value, right? We know that when people work with us, they want to keep working with us. And so I don't think this is something that actually plays out. I think this is what people say when they haven't offered free. And it's what the art community tells people. Meanwhile, the same art community is complaining about how artists get less and less money and they're, undervalued and they don't make money. It's like, well, because you didn't understand business. We have to build a business here. And this is me, I don't dislike artistic people. In fact, I have a business that helps them make money. I dislike what this attitude does for them. And so I try to make content that counteracts that. Yep. So there is some cost on outsourcing here. Again, if you look at your business on, month or 2 month basis, you'll make more, but you do have to pay, $30 up front for editing. But is $30 worth it for a client that will keep paying you consistently hundreds of dollars a shoot? It's always a scale.
I'm not saying that you, Alex, are doing this, but a lot of people that give us that or give us this excuse, I'm just going to call it, they'll spend money on ads because, I got to boost my posts and stuff. It's like, use that money for your own self, for your own company. You use that marketing money for a free shoot that you would use for outsourced editing and all that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm actually going to bring up. Oh, now you go, Eli.
No, this is a good one, but pull up yours.
I was going to bring up this one. And just for similar ideas too, people, I think I saw a few messages about, I sent a lot of messages and no one responds. And I think it's just worth noting that's totally okay. Literally most advertising, most outreach, most any kind of thing you do in any business ever, most people aren't going to respond. That's totally okay. And so we kind of build that into all the ways that we do everything, whether it's the Instagram method or any other methods. We just assume, hey, it's okay. Plenty of people aren't going to do anything with this message. And that's why we just believe in, let's message everyone. Like, let's just message as many people as possible. Let's get our name out there that way. And that will
What response rate do we look for generally, guys? Like, what do we always hit on?
10%, maybe even less sometimes.
Yeah, 10%. So we go into it thinking 90% are not going to respond, and that's okay. It doesn't take very long to send a message.
Yeah.
So it's a volume thing. I do one of my favorite things when people, Eli, I've been doing the Instagram method for 3 months now, and I haven't gotten any results. And I love when people tell me how long they've been doing it because I know they just don't want to tell me how many messages they've sent. So they try to make it seem long. I'll be like, oh, nice, dude. Yeah, how many messages you sent? And they're like, yeah, I mean, I've sent, I don't know, probably 20. I'm like, 20 messages? That's not 3 months worth of work. At the most, you should have gotten 2 clients from that. At the very most, Meanwhile, we have people, Warren in coaching 14K 6 months in, crushing it, right? What did he do? He sent 1,800 messages, if not more.
And so, personalized too.
Yeah, personalized. Like, he just put in the work. And so what I'm not saying is free is the easy way, right? I think if you're looking for the easy way, you've probably missed it already and you're not going to be willing to put in the work. Now, don't confuse that with you shouldn't look for the path of least resistance. I think that's what the Instagram method is. Let's see. Hold on. Thanks for all the objections, guys. I appreciate it. It's been fun. Let me find some more in here. Yeah, free is better than a one-time discount. Here's a good point from Rockout Media. So Showing Time Plus is Zillow's real estate media company. They are pushing out ads with first shoot free. So again, don't model the broke artists, model the big companies, right? They know what they're doing usually. Now, sometimes these big companies can lose money for a long time and you can't, but you still have to look with, what they're doing. There's a reason they got big. Let's see. Yep, many people won't. So we'll talk about the Instagram method specifically in a second. I just wanted to go through these, objections on why, because I need everybody, if you're going to get results out of this, you need to at least understand why free. Then we can talk about how the method works. The worst thing you can do is take my method and pair it with not free. You're not going to get any results. It can be a complete waste of your time. So yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Oh yeah, thanks Ernesto. Free month of streaming is a great comparison. Yeah, because it gets people hooked, Yeah, so this is the ultimate thing. The goal is not even to give most of your clients free. By the time your business is expanding and you're getting more clients, you most of the time have not given the majority of them a free first shoot, right? Again, going back to what we started this training with, what you need is opportunity, not money. And the more you need money, the more it feels like that's not true, but the more true it is. So you need opportunity first, the money will come. How do you get opportunity? You get your product in somebody's hands. That's the fastest way to make money, right? A lot of people think, oh no.
Free will make them trust you because right now they don't know you, so they don't trust you. So it doesn't matter if your work is $1,000, they still don't trust you. So how are they supposed to order that one day if they don't even know how you work, how you treat their clients, how you treat them, your overall business is? And so even if you have a service that you charge $1,000, $2,000 for, you offer it for free, they're gonna be hooked. Like if it's actually good, they're gonna love it and continue buying it. So. They just don't trust you right now. Free will definitely get their eyes open to you and all that.
Now, if I was a wedding photographer and I was telling you guys to shoot weddings for free, you could legitimately tell me that I have no idea what I'm talking about. But again, it goes back to just quick recap for those that missed. There's 3 things in this business that are really important. And this is good for those of you guys that were here to remember this. Repeat business. The clients keep coming back, right? You don't just shoot for them once. Referral business. Those clients become little salespeople for you. Right. And it's required business, meaning for them to sell a house, at least the majority of them, having good photos is a big part of that process. So they make money by hiring you. It gives them money to hire you, right? Because it helps them sell a property. And so I would never be offering free if those things didn't apply, at least the repeat and referral, right? I would totally give up $250 give up $250, right? Because I'm not actually paying $250. My shoot doesn't cost me $250. That's what I would pay or bill them, right? So I'd give up that first $250 to start that stream. It's kind of like the whole passive income thing, right? With rental properties, you're going to pay to buy the property, right? But then it's going to keep hitting you every month. And you get enough clients, you get a drip from each client, as Grant says, and you have a lot of clients. And that's what you want to think about. You want to think, how many people can I get paying me every time they have a listing? Because then you can just focus on getting clients. You're focusing on opportunity, right? You're going to be the one that they call when they get a listing. That is opportunity. That's what you need more than money, even if it doesn't feel like it, because that's what gets you money. Let's see. Yeah, speaking of that, we decided to pivot our strategy this year. So we're not selling anything for Black Friday. The only thing we'd like for you to do when it makes sense for you is we'd love to help you in coaching. And so we're doing a bunch of Black Friday as free trainings. Hopefully you didn't miss the other ones. I think they've all been pretty good. So today, a lot of you are here. It's a Monday. I guess Mondays aren't that fun. So maybe you're looking for something to do in the evening to make you forget about your job, but that's neither here nor there. So today we are talking about getting clients for those of you guys just joining. It's the most important thing you can do in any business. Go back to a quote which I heard recently, which is so simple and I love it. Without clients, there is no company. And so that's the most important thing. Cool. Let's jump into how to get clients. We'll talk about the methods. I'm just going to assume at this point, everybody knows that free is the route that at least I recommend, and you're just going to take my word for it for now. And then you won't have to take my word for it once you've tried it and it works. But for now, you have to. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting. We'll talk about another objection of free. Thanks for this one, Andrew. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So this is a very common thing we hear. Okay, I'm good. I'll offer free. We recommend offering at first just a photo package. Base photo is free. But if you think about it, it's actually better the more services you do for free. Because what happens, once your business starts growing, when we're working with people in coaching who are doing more than 10K a month, one of our biggest focuses is average order value. Like the amount of money they get paid for a shoot. We want to drive that up, right? The best way to drive that up is make sure your clients know about all the services you offer and know what they are. So if you think about it, I'm not saying give more than just photos right now in your business, because I know that costs you money and time. But ultimately, the more product your clients have been able to experience, the more they're going to order in the future. It is the worst when, 2 years in, I was on a coaching call earlier and I literally told the story like 45 minutes ago, but it's the worst thing when you're 2 years into your business and you have a client who's done 20 shoots with you over the last 2 years and they go, hey, do you offer video? And you're like, yeah, I've offered it for 2 years. And they're like, I wish I would have known that. I would have done a video at every listing. And then you're like, wait, they've done 20. I'm getting on my calculator. They've done 20 listings in the last year and you charge $250 for video and you missed out on $5,000 because they didn't know that you offered video. So I would argue that if they do want to, first of all, you can control your offer. So I recommend just just offering a base photo package. But if you find it's a good agent, add it on. Maybe not so much for a mobile home, but play with that. Know that that's important. Jeff, you're welcome. Thanks for being here tonight. We got an awesome crowd, 143 people spending your Monday with us. So we appreciate it. We love what we get to do. And it's super fun to see people go through the process of building their business. So I guess we should get back to it now. What do you think, Kenny?
Let's do it.
You ready? You ready for your part of the training?
Yes.
Kenny's like, what part of the training? Oh, sorry, David. At least you're here now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, David, you said exactly right here. You're showcasing your talent, so showcase it all. Okay, so baseline is now you understand why free, hopefully. What the methods are here. There's kind of 4 things people do in this industry. They all work. Some of them work to different levels of success, basically. And the way we look at it is when we're trying to figure out, initially when we were building our business, through the years of building our business, and now working with other people for the last 3 years, we've tried to go, okay, all of these methods work. Which one is the best per hour spent on it, right? Like you want to do the least amount for the most result. And so what a lot of people go wrong is they have this idea, their marketing strategies, I'm going to do a little bit of everything. I understand it, right? You want to do the Instagram method because maybe you heard Eli say it, right? You want to drop flyers off because that's what your uncle that has a business told you to do. And then you want to run Facebook ads because people do well with Facebook ads. And so you start diverting your attention. Our strategy is don't do any of that. Just focus on the one thing that works the best and put all of your marketing time on that. Generally, I think that's a pretty good tactic in business, right? It's there are always going to be a million things you can do in every area of your business. It's your job to sweep away everything and find the one thing that makes the most sense. So for us, that's the Instagram method. But there are 4 things people generally do. The Instagram method, in-person visiting brokerages. That's scary if you ask me, but do your thing if you like that. Going to open houses and talking to agents. Again, not the most fun thing for me. I'm not really a extrovert to the point where I want to walk in unannounced and talk to somebody, but it works. There's also drive time involved. So it kind of makes the hour to amount of clients you get from it value a little lower. And then there's cold calling or cold texting, stuff like that, right? That's illegal though. So you can't really cold text. You can cold call. To me, that's awful. Just to be straight up, I don't want a cold call to build my business. It sounds awful. And I know that a lot of you are like how many of you just love cold calling? There's probably 3 of you in here, right? The rest are I'd rather just keep working my job. And so that's important too. I think one of the things that I didn't maybe know as well when I was starting my business that I know now is being realistic about what you're actually going to do should play a part of your strategy, right? Everybody knows you could probably get a ton of business if you just cold called all day long, but it's horrible. Like Andrew said, it's soul sucking, right? And so I balance what am I going to do that gets results with what am I going to be able to be consistent with because it's not killing me doing it, right? Cold calling is going to make me a miserable person after probably an hour, let alone doing that for months. That's horrible, right? And so I balance that out with the Instagram method. It's not soul sucking, right? And the Instagram method is not just offering a free shoot in DMs. There's much more to it, and I'll dive in a second. I just wanted to cover the broad spectrum of what people do when it comes to getting clients. So for me, the Instagram method is something that I could do reasonably without going crazy doing it. I'm not going to hate it. It's not fun. I'm not saying the Instagram method is great, but it's not scary, first of all, which is a big thing. And number 2, it's easily delegated when you grow your business. So it's a strategy that scales with your business, which is really nice. So that's why we do the Instagram method. We have had people in coaching that are just really outgoing and friendly and they go crush open houses all day long and they get a ton of clients, right? This is a good strategy. There's a guy named Kevin that does this. He'll see a home for sale in the neighborhood. He'll jump out of his car and stand in front of the for sale sign and be like, hey, my name's Kevin. I saw your listing. I was shooting one down the street. I'd love to shoot this listing for you. Whatever, right? That's his little pitch. Awesome, right? But that's kind of scary for a lot of people. Sure, do the scary stuff, right? That's important. You got to push yourself. But at the same time, you have to be realistic about what you're going to do. That is why, among all things, I recommend the Instagram method. We've just seen that balanced with what you're actually going to be consistent with and the results you get from it, you're going to get a ton. Like a lot of people like, oh, I'll go, spam email 100,000 realtors and like just doesn't work. So really easy to do, no results. So that's not going to be a path I recommend, right? Instagram method, fairly easy. There's some work you have to put into your Instagram. It's something we definitely, if you're serious about this business, it's why we do coaching. That's what we build our business on, is coaching other people. There's a lot of nuance to it, but you don't have to. You can still do it without it. So it's not hard, but it's not the easiest, right? So it's middle ground on that. The results, though, are really high if you do it right. So it balances out to be what I believe is the best strategy. Yes, you can outsource the Instagram method. A lot of people will hire a virtual assistant to do it. So you're right on with that. I don't recommend doing it from the start, though. I recommend waiting until you've sent at least 1,000 messages. It's not that much. I know 1,000 sounds like a ton, but like if you think about it, like you can easily do 30 to 50 in a pretty easy day, like easy day. So like 20 days of that, you're there. There's no course for sale anymore. We changed up. Black Friday is completely free. For the majority of this year, we haven't sold any courses or anything. We're just focusing on coaching because the results are so much better. So that answers your question, I think, David. Okay. Should we talk about the Instagram method now? Or do you guys have any questions so far? Or should I jump into the Instagram method? Yeah, good point. If you have a VA do it for you, you can let it keep going. It's definitely a good strategy. I'd say wait till you're about 8 or 10K a month. Maybe if you just know you're the type of person that's not going to be consistent with it, you should hire sooner. But I would recommend doing the Instagram method until you're like 8 to 10K a month. Okay, so I'm going to talk through the Instagram method from a high level view. I cover it more in depth in my workshop that's free. It's in my bio, so you can watch that. You can kind of like figure out some of it, but I'm going to talk highlight view of it. Obviously, if you want us to help you do it, you can get that fully in coaching, handheld through the entire process. So there's 3 parts to the Instagram method, and I'll answer any questions you have about this. The first one is the profile. Well, let me talk about what the Instagram method is first. The Instagram method is offering a free first shoot to realtors via direct message. So that is like what the sum of the strategy is, like the most simple way to put it. Now, if you just do that, you're not going to get results. So that's kind of the 3-step process. So number 1, you have to have a profile that looks good. So what I mean by looks good is it's not your personal profile that has nothing to do with real estate photography. It's also not a real estate photography profile that just has a ton of pictures of houses and no people on it. So it starts with having a good profile. A good profile has about a 50-50 balance of pictures of you, who you are, why you're excited to be in this business, maybe a family picture. If you love dogs, maybe a picture with your dog. Personality. It's got to show your personality. The profile picture is not a logo and it's not a picture of a house. It's a picture of you, right? You can look at our company's bio at Norman & Young to get an idea for what your bio should look like. We're a bigger business, so we've kind of moved over to the logo. But when you're first starting, you got to have a picture of you. That's a big thing, right? The first thing a real estate agent's going to do when you DM them and they look at it is they're going to go check your profile. And when they see you, a friendly person, talking about why you're so excited to be in the industry, that is going to win every time over a spam looking account with 10 house photos. You can send 1 million DMs with 10 house photos and you're not going to get very good results. So highly encourage you have to get your profile in there. That is one of the biggest things we're specific about with coaching clients, is making sure their Instagram looks right. Because if you do that right, every other message you send is much higher leverage. So number 1 is your profile has to be optimized properly. Yes, a photo is so much better than logo when it's just you, right? At Norman & Young, there's a lot of us, so like we could cram into a team picture. We probably should, but we've
also,
kind of moved over to
you guys, Norman & Young is established already. In the beginning, a logo means absolutely nothing to anyone except you. They don't know the company, and so having you as the profile photo will gain that trust later on, and like in the beginning, actually.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, your profile picture should be you. We want to make this you. You are a business. There's this thing we talk about a lot, which is big businesses want to be small and then small businesses want to be big. What big businesses know is that the biggest advantage is being a small business. So like I always tell people when they're just getting into coaching, you have such an advantage over my business. You do everything. You're the one that answers the phone. You're the one that goes to the shoots. At my business, we can't do that, right? It's a different person. So there's advantages we have. We can do 30 shoots in a day. You can't, but we can't be you. We can't provide that personalized service in the same way. So really, really lean into it. Do that 100%. So profile's number 1. Number 2, you don't just rush in and send the DM, right? We want to engage with the agent a little bit first. So react to their stories for a couple days, comment on their posts, try to make a relationship with them. That is the hack to making it so way more of them see your DM and respond to it. And a lot of them will even follow you back. Become part of the community, engage with them, right? Spend time. Don't just comment a thumbs up. Spend time to do meaningful engagements is number 2. Yeah, from an Instagram business account. Doesn't really matter though. Number 3 is then you actually have to send the DM. Here's the secret with the DM. It is a custom message every single time. It is not the same thing pasted 30 times, Instagram will block you. You will get in Instagram jail where you're not going to be able to send messages. And if you do it too much, they're going to ban you. So you got to do a custom message. And in coaching, we have a spreadsheet that helps people generate that. It takes a bunch of inputs and kind of like creates a custom message for you. So that's how we handle that, but it needs to be a custom message. And then number 2, if you send a video of you along with that message saying, hey, it's Eli, I'm the owner of blank, I'm just getting into this business, I'd love to offer. So a video, you get the point, right? That kind of says the same thing as a message. We help our coaching clients craft 5 of those that they can send, change them out and send with every video. And so that's the strategy from an overview. For the next 10 minutes that we got available, I'm basically just going to answer questions on that. So I hope you guys are somewhat convinced to try the Instagram method at least. I would just really encourage you not to forget steps 1 and 2, which is have a good profile and engagement. And again, if you're serious, we'd love to work with you in coaching. You have to be ready to really want to make this business happen and put in the work. But if you're willing to put in the work, we'll come behind you as a team. We've got you. We have about 90 people in coaching right now, or between 80 and 90, right, Aaron?
We guarantee results as well, which is one of the biggest perks that we have in coaching.
Yeah, so you're not alone if you want to make this happen. But again, if you're not there yet, that's what this free content is for, helping you get your foot in the door and get started. Yeah, turn the camera on yourself. The scariest thing of all. But not a fancy camera. Hold your iPhone. Don't overcomplicate it. Just get out here and talk like a normal human,
That's actually one of the biggest things that I get asked at least. They're like, should I make it a polished video with a mic and captions and all? I'm like, nope, that's the worst way to do it. The more raw it is, the better conversion we see.
Yeah. Yep. I recommend the video and the text message. I'll usually recommend at the start of the video. Kind of depends on the person. Like that, we work with each person to figure out what their unique thing is and make it the best video we can. So usually be like, hey, I sent you a message below, but I just want to shoot you over a video, introduce myself. Like you're trying to make a relationship, right? Because you want to get opportunity and then you'll get money. Yeah, we work with Airbnb companies, not as much in Texas, but a lot of our coaching clients do in areas where Airbnb is more. Yeah, the Instagram method is kind of the thing that we didn't come up with a strategy, but we're the only ones that I think call it the Instagram method. We've refined it. So I have training on it. If you want more in-depth training, I mean, I just covered it pretty well. You just got to get out and experiment. I have a workshop linked to my bio that has some more info on it, but generally I'm here now. So ask your questions. So, yes, smaller markets are awesome. So how many people live within an hour of you, Andrew? What's the population within an hour on average? Or approximately rather, and just tell me and I'll give you some feedback. But yeah, generally smaller markets are so much easier to grow in. Let's see.
Andrew's got a good amount of
people. Andrew, you're in a bigger market. I thought you were going to say 20. So the cutoff is for coaching is usually about 30,000 or less. We're more honest with you that it might not be good. We were in a city called Granbury, Texas when we first started. It was me, Aaron, and 2 employees. And we were doing, at least $40K a month, the majority in that city only before we expanded out. And that was 50,000 people. If you look it up, Granbury, Texas, it says 14,000 people, but that's just in the city. There's bigger population around that. Yeah, 20K is kind of where it gets harder. It's possible, but you just have to have an honest conversation with yourself. Are you willing to drive to get to more opportunity? Are you willing to move? Sometimes that's what it takes. It's one thing, I believe in is just moving. I used to live in Texas. I lived there for a while. I got comfortable there and I moved to Florida. Now I live in Scottsdale. I think you got to move for the opportunity. Corner of province, 3 hours in any direction. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. 3 hours in any direction is people or what? Fayetteville is definitely a big enough market. I don't know how many people are there, but that's about 50,000 is. If it's 50,000 people and above, we don't even look twice. If it's 30,000 to 50, we kind of look at the market and see. If it's under 30, it's a little more tough and we have to look into it. But generally above 30 or at least 50, it's yes, you're good. Don't even need to think twice about it. How many days should you go? That's a good question. I didn't cover that. Between interacting with the agents on Instagram and then sending the DM. We recommend 3 days of engaging first. Yeah. Yes, I didn't use it at the very beginning because I didn't know it existed. And then once I figured it out, I used it. See, you should not have. I didn't even talk about how you find agents on Instagram. Great question. So I'm going to give you guys a hack. This is going to be probably the second most valuable thing I've said today. So go to Instagram. I'll let everybody pull it up. When you're on Instagram, someone put I'm on Instagram that wants to learn how to do this. That way I know if you guys had enough time to pull it up. How do you search tags again, Kenny? I can't figure it out.
Same way that you search
for. Oh, you just hashtag. Okay, yeah. So once you're on Instagram, you're going to go to the search and you're going to type in hashtag like your city home. So like Fort Worth homes or Fort Worth realtor, and it's going to pop up, right? So like I'll pull this up. You can see like there's Fort Worth photographer, Fort Worth, Texas. So I'm going to type in Fort Worth realtor. Okay, so look at this. 81,000 posts under the hashtag Fort Worth realtor. Okay, so you're going to click on that hashtag. Whoops. Hold on. Let me go back. All right. So first of all, I'm waiting until the posts load. Everybody posting with that hashtag is a real estate agent, right? So what you can do is you can scroll through these. Look, the first one I clicked on, it's a realtor in my city, right? So you're going to go through and you're going to follow all of those realtors, right? That's how you find them. And you can change hashtags when you run out there. So if like Fort Worth realtor runs out, you can look up like Fort Worth broker or Fort Worth homes for sale or whatever, right? There's like an unlimited amount of hashtags. So yeah, go search hashtags. Your city homes is a great way to start, or your city realtor or your city agent, right? So like Nashville agent, Nashville realtor, Toronto realtor, right? Kansas City realtor. Cool. Does that help? Are you able to find a bunch on there? That's like your unlimited hack. And if you think that hack was good, you should definitely try coaching because I'm full of them. If you want to apply and talk with Carl, Rod, or Philippe on my team, go to replaunch.com/apply and fill out the form. Let's see. I did that and typed in realtor and the people's followers and followed them. Then some people started following me. Yeah, once you start doing this too, some will follow you back. When you engage, other people are going to see the comments. The cool thing with realtors is like half of their audience is also realtors. And so usually they're looking at the other people's posts, like trying to see what they're doing, right? That's what business owners are. Yeah, I mean, 500, like, okay, so this was another free Black Friday's free training, but maybe, I don't know if you were there, Matthew, or just to bring that, 500 is a lot. Like, even if there's only 100 realtors, we have never seen someone with 100 clients who has revenue of less than 100,000 a year. It's usually like 140, 160 per thousand per year for 100 clients at the minimum. Go make it happen. Put in the work. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Yeah, you can do your county too. So Matthew said Sussex County homes. You don't need, that's the thing with this business. You don't need a lot of clients for most people to change their life, right? It just doesn't take a lot. Like 100 clients is a 6-figure business. You just 100, like you just have to go out. Now, I don't want to make that seem easier than it is. Getting 100 clients is not easy, right? It's not no work. I would just challenge you to think it doesn't, like, you're going to spend the time over the next few months doing something. Why not a few months from now have a business that you can be proud of that changed your life? Like, that's awesome, right? And we see it all the time. Is there an average radius you should target realtors that make sense for your business to be profitable? Yeah, I mean, we generally look for 50,000 people or above in a 1-hour driving radius. 30,000 also works, but if you have 50,000 or above, you don't even need to think twice about it. There's plenty. Yeah, we have a lot of people who are real estate agents who moved over to be photographers. Maybe not a lot, but I don't know, 5 or 6 out of our 80 right now. Good at the minimum.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good, realtors usually do well in the business because they already understand it a little bit. You definitely, like a small percentage are, but it's definitely a thing. Yeah, so this is a good question. How do referrals work if agents are competing against each other? A lot of them are not competing against each other. It's a very collaborative industry. They both have to do, they're both on either side of a deal. They talk all the time. They're in the same office. So it's a great opportunity for referrals because they're like dealing with each other all day long. Yeah, there you go. That's the crazy thing. It's like, I'm not even saying, like, I believe in putting in the work over the long term, but like 2 to 3 months is what I talk about a lot when you can have a completely different life. I mean, like, I just go back to Mike and a bunch of other people. These are obviously like our top 10% coaching clients, but 20K 3 months in a month, that's crazy, right? And there's a lot of people doing 6, 7, 8K a few months in. And so it's possible. You just have to go into it with the right attitude. Like, I'm going to put in the work. You have a high level of necessity. You're going to do what it takes. And then it always goes back to these 3 things. So if you're interested in coaching, you need to be these 3 things. Some of this we can help you with, but a lot of it you have to have. You need to be coachable. It's CAA is our acronyms. You need to be coachable. You need to be willing to do what you say. If you're like, yeah, Eli, I get it, but I'm not going to do that. Like, it's going to be hard for me to help you, right? Because like a lot of stuff that you need to do probably isn't what you think you need to do. It feels wrong or different. Not wrong in a bad way. It just feels opposite of what you would have thought, right? So coachable, you need to be available. You need to show up and do the work, right? And you need to be accountable. It can't be someone else's fault. You need to take responsibility and do the work required. So those are our 3 requirements. That being said, We're officially 3 minutes over. Were you about to say something, someone?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up this one question because I think this is a great idea that I'll just talk on in answering this question. I think will be useful for a lot of people. So first of all, Matthew, answering that question, just because genuinely I want to make sure you're okay for that brokerage presentation. You've only taught 3 shoots. Don't pretend to be anything different than a guy who's shot 3 shoots and is super excited to be there. And that goes, I think, for everyone else. If someone asks a similar question, everyone I'm looking at on Instagram has great photos already. Why would they want to go with a, small account that's just getting started off? I don't have a lot of experience. We've talked about a lot of that already, right? Like, it's not just about the experience. It's about, your experience. It's about the customer experience. It's about what you can give. But I think it's also just worth recognizing a lot of people like a great story, someone starting off creating a great business. And so for you specifically, Matthew, when you go there, don't pretend like you've been in this business for 10 years and you know exactly everything you could possibly ever need to do and you need to impress all these agents. You're a young guy there who's excited to go get this business started, is excited to treat your clients better than anything, because right now you have so few. You'll do anything it takes. And I think that's so true for a lot of people. There's a million reasons you can find to not do the Instagram method. There's a million reasons why you're not ready. There's a million reasons why you need more practice and more portfolio and more things set up. And the truth is, sometimes those things are helpful. But actually, most people are just going to stop themselves from doing a decision that would change their life in a great way. And so I pick on this, that if you see this and you go, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible, maybe you don't need to do a meeting with 100, 200 clients before you've shot 3 shoots. That's okay. But don't let that idea hold you back from sending out your first message.
There's a lot to be gained. And Matthew, just one last word of advice for this. Spend a second after. I don't know if you have a chance to talk or whatever. All those agents are not going to show up, by the way. There's going to be like 40 of them there probably. Don't run out when you're done. Don't give it like a quick talk and leave. Like, talk to the agents after. Do have a few good quality conversations. Like Aaron said, lean into the fact that you're new. People love that. People love to help. They love to invest in somebody when they're early on, they're willing. Like, you have to reciprocate. You have to be like, I'm going to be great. Like Aaron said, I'm going to go out of my way to serve you. I'm willing to do things others aren't. I'll clean the house for you. And that goes exactly into Jake's question. How you differentiate yourself is, first of all, don't assume a lot of people are actually doing this. Most people are very lazy and have sent very few messages, and their strategy for building their business is hope that luck happens to them. So there's not a lot of actual messages being sent. Second of all, you will get yeses. You just will. Go up and crush it. Do a great job, provide great service. A lot of people are like, oh, it's saturated, right? We work with coaching clients we start coaching clients every month, at least 10 of them, and all of them get results when they do the work, right? We've never had somebody that's like, darn it, this isn't working. And so the reason for that is because we don't let them stop. We make them put in the work. We show them the path to do it. And so you can do that now without being in coaching by going, this is not valid, right? I'm just going to do it anyway. That's the thing I would say, just to end this. Your brain is going to constantly tell you about things that could not work out. It's like the way you're wired, right? Oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? Yeah, that's your brain. You're going to lay there in bed and go, what am I doing starting a real estate photo business? Who am I? All of that imposter syndrome is going to flow in. Everybody has it. I had it when I started my business. We did a conference last week and it hit me again. I'm laying there. I'm like, what am I doing a conference in Vegas for? Who am I? This is crazy, right? You have to do it anyway. And that was something that the panel we had at REPP 2023, those 3 coaching students that I mentioned, all of them said that their secret was they were scared and they did it anyway, in different words, right? And so I would encourage you, however you're thinking about doing this, you will be scared. That does not make you abnormal. It makes you very normal. You have to do it anyway. So on that note, thanks so much for being here today. It was a great group. It was my favorite topic. And we had the most people, which I like that. So it's all 130 plus of you that were here. Thank you. It's been fun. We love to teach. It's, when you build your business, oftentimes I think teaching becomes fun and kind of sharing what you've learned and watching other people do it. So I thank you for that opportunity. We'd love to work with you in coaching. It's me, Aaron, Kenny, and Jared who are the coaches, and you work with us personally. So if you haven't yet, jump on a call with Carl, Philippe, or Rod. How you do that is go to the replaunch.com/apply link. Again, thank you so much for being here. Aaron, Kenny, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys.
As well. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. When's the next live, Kenny? When is the next Black Friday's free live?
Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Wednesday. So you got one more before I can say happy Thanksgiving. So come see us again at 7 p.m. Central on Wednesday. We're going to have another topic. You'll have to come to figure out what the topic is, but I promise it will be good. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your evening.